Okay, then there we go. Like you know, I'm Joseph Gata. Welcome to my study for understanding some of the lessons of English that I'm going to teach you. So, the lesson of today will be about the steam and the steam turbine. What we studied last time was about the steam engine. So, I mean that yes, first of all, I have to talk about just the lesson that we did before. That was about the prime movers. The prime movers will identify, in fact, the steam engine and the steam turbine about the definition. Because the prime mover, this is about just the engines and the machines that we use for converting the energy, the heat energy, or any energy like that from the fuels into the mechanical energy. This is really used in the power plant at all. For what the power plant just converts that into electricity, it has firstly to convert that into the mechanical work. So this is thanks to this type of engines, this type of machines that everything is possible. And the way that these machines will work, we just identify the types of I would say, the types of the prime movers that we're going to see. That we are going to talk about. So this is about the steam turbine and the steam engine. So there are some of the engines that are working with the reciprocating motion. So the way that the heat energy or any energy from the fuels will be converted will be just thanks to the reciprocating motion of the, I would say, of the components of the engines at home, and then it will be converted into the mechanical energy. And for the steam turbines, this is using the rotating motion. So the rotating motion of the blades, the rotating motion for converted. So the energy that will be released from the fuels, that can be the kinetic energy or the heat energy or some things like that, will be just converting through the rotating motion of the blades like that, and then that will be just generate the mechanical energy. So this was just a very easy lesson, and this is thanks to that we can just make the difference between these two concepts, because they are just in one just from one I would say one topic, that is the prime mover. They are just prime movers, but the way that the energy will be converted using these machines will just make the difference, and their, I can say, their characteristics, the characteristic between these two, uh, yes, these two types of prime movers. So yes, about the steam engines, we studied many things already, and like I said, the definition of the steam engine, this is just a machine, an engine that converts the energy, so the energy released from the fuels into the mechanical energy, using the reciprocating motion. So yes, we studied also the working principle of this, and I mean that thanks to that you're able to understand what it is. I would uh, I would say first of all that everything is also related to the thermodynamics. So this was just about the lesson that we studied before, that will release that will just make you understanding the way that the heat energy, because this is mostly about the steam. This is about the steam turbine, or the steam, yes, the steam engine. So this is just using the heat energy that will be released. So of course that will be about the thermodynamics. So the heat energy that will be released for converting that into the mechanical energy. So this is about just the principle that we studied before, about the fact that the heat energy will be converting through some combinations, and through also some laws, about the fact that you have to identify the laws of the thermodynamics first. The energy cannot be just, I would say, yes, cannot be destroyed or even created. That can just be converted from one energy to other. So in our case, this is about the fact of converting the heat energy into the mechanical energy. So this is really a concept that we have to understand before just continue to study the power plant or something like that. I will just give you the advice to make a review about what you studied. And yes, and the fact that also there is some of the entropy, the fact that there is always a disorder in the system, or any system like that, that can be an engine. In our case, I gave an example about the internal combustion engine. So in the cylinder, the way that the heat energy will be released, will not be converted at 100%. There will be always a disorder, so an entropy. I would say even half of this energy will be evaporated through the atmosphere. This is an obligation. All the heat energy cannot be converted at 100% into the mechanical work. Yes, and the the third law was also about the fact of saying that yes, about the fact of, I would say, reflecting also the second laws of the second law of thermodynamic. So that is saying that there's always an entropy anyway. So just there is only one object that doesn't have any entropy. This is a crystal that has that has isothermal and which has also zero entropy. And this is also under some of the conditions like that. So yes, always just only this object will be just at zero entropy, but for the rest it will always there will always be some of the disorders or some of the entropy through the atmosphere, through the system. So yes, this is an obligation. So through these laws you can understand many things. So I mean that I will just say you, like I said, to make you a review about that, about the thermodynamics at all. Yes. So the lesson of today is about the steam turbine. So yes, we studied also the, excuse me, I have to make something. Yes, we studied also the four types of the Rankine cycle. I mean that the Rankine cycle, you already understand something. And I said you that there is also a difference between the Rankine cycle and the Carnot cycle. The Carnot cycle, this is mostly I would say, a theoretical subject, if I can say it like that. It will always be a theoretical subject. This is just a theoretically, yes. So theoretically, it is said that the heat energy or the fuel, firstly, for converting the heat energy, you have to use the fuel, the combustion of the fuel. Uh, so the fuel will be firstly pumped. So um, yes, it's almost like for the Rankine cycle, but there is a difference. This is just firstly at the pump moment and at the last time. So when the I would say the piston will slide up or will move. So when there will be the conversion of the heat energy into the mechanical work, because this is not only the piston but also some of the objects like that. So yes, it is not important. So the way that the fuel will be pumped at the first moment and the conversion, this is only at this moment that there will be the I would say the difference, but for the rest, it is almost the same. About the four processes of the Rankine cycle, I said you that there is the pumping cycle. So the pump will be, no, the fuel will be pumped through the system, and it can be spray or it can be, I would say that mostly it depends on the phase of the fuel, because of the fact that when it is in liquid, at this moment it will be just injected, so it will be pumped like that. And when it is for example in the, I would say, in the gas phase, at this moment yes, it is different, because I mean that we are going to spray that. So yes, sometimes it can be also pumped, so yes, it is not a problem. So the pumping cycle, this is about the fact that the fuel will be pumped to the system, and then there will be the uh, what they say, the condensation. No, this is about, excuse me, the heating process. Of course, this is at this moment that there will be the combustion of our fuel. In the case of the gasoline engine, there I would say the fuel will be injected, and then there will be the spark plug that will make some of the fire like that for making the explosion. But there will be also some of the fuel that doesn't need some spark plug like that. So it does need just the fact that the there will be the compression of the air and then the ejection of the you know of the fuel. So at this moment, that will be the diesel fuel. The diesel fuel doesn't need any spark plug, only the compression of the air and the fact that the air will be at a certain temperature through this compression will generate the explosion with the injection of the diesel fuel. So only that. And then there will be the expansion cycle. The expansion cycle, this is at this moment that there will be the explosion, the combustion. The combustion will just make moving our piston slow down. So then, yes, it will occur some mechanical work through through the gears or the surroundings of our system. Mostly, this is about the surroundings because there is some of the gears or some things like that that will make moving our wheels. Yes. So yes, and then there will be the condensation cycle. The wet vapor then enters a condenser where it is condensed at constant temperature to become a saturated liquid. Yes. So, and I talked about also the work done in the Rankine cycle. So now what we are going to study will be about the steam turbine and the classification of the steam turbine. So what is a steam turbine? This is a prime mover which converts the heat energy of steam into mechanical energy by rotating motion of the blade. Total energy conversion involves two types of steam expansion: the expansion of steam in nozzle and expansion of steam in turbine blades. Yes, and the function of the steam engine and steam turbine are similar, but steam engine converts the heat energy of the steam into mechanical energy by supporting motion of the piston, whereas the steam turbine, this is the conversion of energy due to rotation of the turbine shaft. Steam energy is used for low power generation and efficiency is lesser than that of steam turbine. Yes. Yes. I mean that this is very easy to understand. The reciprocating motion of the conversion of the heat energy into mechanical energy through the reciprocating motion of the piston will occur only in the steam engine. But for the steam turbine, this is the reciprocating, the rotating motion of our plate that will generate the conversion of this. And now the classification. Yes, Broadly, steam turbine can be classified into two categories as follows: the impulse turbine, the impulse reaction turbine. Pure reaction turbine cannot be used for practical purposes, therefore impulse reaction turbine is referred to as reaction turbine. Yes, we can say the impulse reaction turbine or just the reaction turbine, it depends. And they say the pure reaction turbine cannot be used for practical purposes. Yes. So yes, what is the difference between these two types of steam turbines? For the impulse turbine, this is an engine that will make I would say that will use mostly the steam. So the steam has the kinetic energy of the steam for making the rotational motion of the blades. So the steam will be just came with a certain velocity, high velocity firstly. It will be better for making the rotational motion. So high velocity for making the blades just rotating like that. You know, the velocity will just make like that and will make a certain pressure on the blades, and then yes, it will just turn like that. And for the impulse or even just the reaction turbine, for the reaction turbine, this is mostly about just the kinetic energy of the water, the water directly. But for the steam turbine, this is only with the steam. So the heat energy that will be released from the coal or the petrol or something like that. But in the reaction turbine, we use the water, the kinetic pressure that is exerted by the water or even the pressure, the kinetic energy and the pressure that is exerted by the water. Do you understand? So this is something that we use, the reaction turbine. We use that in the water power plant. And for the impulse reaction, I would say that we use that for any steam power plant like that. It can be the coal, the power plant that is using the coal, the petrol, the gasoline, the diesel, and so on and so forth. So um, what you have to take into account, this is just that the fact that there will be the steam that will be released with a certain uh, high velocity. You know, mostly for the nuclear power plant, it will be really better. But the steam that will just be released, this is not from the combustion, but like I said, from the fission reaction of the radioactive materials. Yes, so this is the difference between these two concepts. But for the rest, the difference between the nuclear and the steam, this is just the fact that we use the radioactive materials, like the uranium, the plutonium, or some things like that, and only the fission reaction. This is not about the combustion of this one, but the fission reaction that will occur between these atoms or these molecules, and that will just release some of the steam at a certain high velocity for making the rotational motion of the blades of the steam turbine. But for the rest, yes, this is not the case. So this is the difference between all of them. But it can be also used in the steam engines. Yes, but for the hydroelectric power plant, mostly this is used the way that um, in the steam turbine mostly, because the pressure that will occur will not be used only by the water. I would say by the steam engine, because it will just make the piston moving like that. It has to be continuous, so we are going to use the steam turbine for this reasons. So I mean that this is the end of our lesson. I hope for you that you understood many things, and thank you for listening. Thank you.